So we think about 4 pillars of this new digital ecosystem. One is the digital marketing pillar. And this is a thing people are pretty familiar about. You know, it's my website, it's my channels, it's my marketing automation capabilities, my ability to run campaigns or to map out customer journeys. And a lot of folks have invested in this space. If I look at our client set, it's been led over the last number of years by the more retail-oriented firms and by more of the fund companies. But we're now starting to see some of our institutional clients really ask questions around what's the right level of investment in our digital marketing platform. But it's more than just the website, it's really the platform and the pillar you use for all of your client information delivery. The second pillar we think about is client intelligence. And so this is where you would traditionally sort of put CRM and your sales effectiveness. So you've got your client information in there, you've got segmentation in terms of who are your top tier customers, who are your bottom tier customers, who are the ones you're supposed to see all the time, who are the ones you're never supposed to see, and really allow you to manage and optimize what your sales force and your relationship managers are doing. But what we find is that there's oftentimes lots of other CRM-like information hiding throughout the firm. You might have a client master that's got lots of information about that client, who their custodian is, who their law firm is, what their fee structures are. You might have an account master that contains all their investment information. You might have other systems that you have to go into to get at some of that information. So being able to create this client intelligence pillar, which is really your 360 of that customer, right? And then integrating with your digital marketing platform so that you're really able to leverage some of the pieces that come out of having those two things together. So that you're not, when you create campaigns or you want to communicate with your client, you're able to leverage your marketing automation platform to do that and not bouncing out to Outlook to send an email to a client that you then can't track and tie back to an activity. And it's interesting, I think we see this as being really important. It's not going away. I've had 2 big clients over the last 6 months say to me that they were re-implementing Salesforce. And what they meant was they rolled it out, they didn't get the type of adoption or use that they wanted from it, but they believe in its power and they're committed to reinvesting in it to make sure that it's integrated and aligned with people's business processes so that they can start to adopt and really engage it and get some of the benefits they expect to see from it. The third pillar is really your content, your data, your document management. I think when you build out your digital marketing platform and your CMS, your digital asset management platform, your DAM for keeping track of all of your digital assets, a lot of folks solve some of the content problem. But they still struggle with, well, where do disclaimers live and how do we manage disclaimers and what about footnotes and what about commentary and how do we tie all those things together? And that's a real pain in the neck. And that's only if I'm doing it in English. And then I got to do it in 15 different languages and understand how that needs to change based on who the investor type is, right? That's a massive problem for most firms. And it's usually really hard to get somebody to put their hand up and say, I own that within the firm. Usually what we find is that the marketing teams or the production teams or the sales teams are the ones who end up owning it because they're the consumers of it, but it's really not theirs to own. Similar with data. We produce fact sheets for some of our clients and it's not unusual to get 47 different files in order to do that. Right? And those files are coming from inside the organization, they're coming from outside the organization, some of them are being hand-touched along the way. And so really getting a handle on data is a critical part of this whole pillar. And then documents, a lot of what gets created ends up in a document. That document needs to exist beyond its production. So how do you keep track of those things and how do you make them available to people? How do you integrate it back into your client intelligence platform so that a relationship manager doesn't have to go look for it, it's just there. It's associated with that client, it's right there. And then packaging and distribution. A lot of you guys have to share that content, that data, those documents with other third parties, whether it's consultants or whether it's distribution platforms, whether it's out to Morningstar or Fund Info. There's lots of different places it needs to go. So having a pillar where you can manage all of that is really important. And finally, client reporting and servicing. So where do you deal with onboarding and ad hoc reporting and service requests and all of the things that the service teams, move heaven and earth sometimes to get done. And so if you think about Salesforce as this integrated platform, one of the things that we think is actually amazing about Salesforce is that it fits in all across this. So you've got Marketing Cloud, you got Sales Cloud and Pardot from a client intelligence perspective in terms of my sales effectiveness, my CRM, and my lead management and lead tracking. You've got App Cloud, which is one of the places we're starting to really see a lot of our vendor partners integrate with the platform and be able to sort of not just create documents or manage data, but actually make that available into the Salesforce ecosystem. And Service Cloud and Community Cloud, really very powerful from a client reporting, client servicing perspective. Service Cloud, we think, is a fantastic opportunity for clients to really drive a lot of awareness into the client reporting teams and connect your sales pipeline to the client service team. So as a deal starts to look like it's going to close, you're getting cases opened up for the client service team to start to prep for onboarding or contracting. And then similarly, Community Cloud is a great way to integrate with the digital marketing platform to securely deliver content to your client. A lot of people that we talk to are out there emailing documents out to their clients in a way. It's kind of that soft compliance violation that a lot of people are trying to figure out how to get away from.